What's up, fool? So check it. Mr. Stone episode 3? It start off with La Paisa and his Jaina. And these fools are walking up, they just pick up the microphone and whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, Mr. Stone, what's up, fool? But they got a spy. Is this one Jaina with like the piggy tails and the lips of a frog? And she's out there like, what these fools doing, fool? I see them talking, what are they doing? And Paisa's yelling, Mr. Stone! Mr. Stone! Mr. Stone! And he's like, shut up, fool, I'm right here, what you want? And then the intro play. And after the intro, you find out that Paisa's been yelling this so many times and he is so loud that even the fools outside are hearing. I'm like, that's like where I live, fool. People just too damn loud. While those fools are catching up, the spy is starting to get more suspicious. She like, sabes que this fool been talking a lot more. I don't know what's happening, but this is different. As Mr. Stone is telling La Paisa and his Jaina the plan, you find out that this fool is a real ride or die homie. This is the kind of vato that you want to take to a gunfight, because he's the kind of fool who, like, if you get locked up, he's gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about, I wasn't even there. Mr. Stone didn't even tell him nothing about the plan. He was just like, hey fool, go find someone and bring them over here. And he's like, órale pues, I'm gonna go do that, fool. The problem is, Payaso and the crew haven't come back yet. They still being hunted by Batman. If you remember last time when those fools were trying to run away from Batman, it never showed them getting away from Batman. Y ahora Batman's coming to get them. So Payaso, Baby Mr. Stone, y Mozos, those fools are pinned down in a field and Batman's doing like the Overwatch and he's looking down, he's like, where these fools at? I'm gonna blast these fools with my bow and arrow. So Mozos, he comes up with a plan. He's like, I'm gonna get Baby Mr. Stone and I'm gonna pick that fool up and I'm gonna pretend that he a human shield. That way when Batman know where we are and he starts shooting people with his little bow and arrow, he will only hit Baby Mr. Stone and then you could get away. Obviously that's not what happened because Baby Mr. Stone, he wasn't about that. What they did instead was Baby Mr. Stone, he made like a smoke bomb or he started a fire or something. And Baby Mr. Stone and Mozos, they go running into the field and they're screaming some crazy stuff because they figure if they make enough noise, Batman ain't gonna know where they at. And Payaso could run away. And while all of this is happening, you see that Paisa is trying to convince, Pigtails to join them. But Pigtails don't want to hear none of that. So instead what she does is she starts to punch that fool. She like cracks that fool in the face like 3 or 4 times. And this is what I mean that Paisa's like a ride or die homie. Cause even though he getting knocked around like an MMA fighter versus a lolly, he still try to get that message through. Eventually, Pigtails is like, okay, sabes que this is going nowhere. Let me just see what you want to tell me. So they bring her up to like the telephone thingy. And she's like, oye, who's in this hole? And that's when Payaso do his like transformer thingy. He turns into some Jaina, whose name I cannot remember. And he like, what's up, fool? So Paisa and his Jaina are like, oh my gosh, who is this? This sounds like that one Jaina whose name I can't remember. And I think that they figured out what the plan was right there. And this is the twist. It turns out that Pigtails is secretly like a mega super fangirl of whatever her name was. And she like, sabes que wey, I don't really believe that you her. So I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, okay? It's gonna be like the fairy godmother or whatever. And you fools gotta answer it correctly, okay? And as you can imagine, Mr. Stone and Payaso don't exactly like this idea. Because obviously, the Jaina whose name I cannot remember ain't really there. But they don't got a choice. So they go, okay, fool, then hit me, dog. What you got? What question number 1? Tell me. And she like, okay, I got you. How much money you make last time? And he's like, last time what? What you mean last time? What kind of question is this? And she go, if you were really the real Jaina whose name I can't remember, then you would know what I'm talking about. And that's where Mr. Stone's big brain, he's like, a ver, I got this, fool, don't even trip, Payaso, I got you. And he does his like big brain counting number whatever thingy, and he's like, 50 mil. And he get it right. So Pigtails is like, okay. I see you got number 1 correct, but you got still more, ese. And Payaso goes, bring it, fool, what you got? Wait, you're not changing your voice. Ay, wait, disculpa. Who was that? Don't ask questions, cabrón, this is none of your business. Ask your next question. So she asks her next question, and she like, a ver, I wanna know how much leche those chichis make, tell me. And they like, what are you, perverted or something, fool? What you trying to ask questions like that for? That's none of your business. And she like, if you don't answer the question, then I'ma think that you fake. So you answer the question or we just end this right now. And Mr. Stone's like, sabes que we can't be risking this. She like one of those crazy fan people. I got an idea. And he's like, a ver, wait, what's your idea? And he throws on the CD onto the CD player thingy. And she like, oh my gosh, you real? And that's where Mr. Stone, he come in. He's like, nah, not really. That's just a CD that we find. And she like, okay, pues, do you have any more CDs? And he's like, nah. But sabes que you keep kicking it with that one crazy vato, and all the CD that we have is gonna disappear. You're never gonna listen to her music again. So join us or else. So she act all dramatic and she take off her jacket and she's like, sabes que, I with you. And that's where this episode ends. Y sabes qué? I end too. So, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment y subscribe. Y sabes qué? Follow me on Twitter también. Y con eso, hasta luego.